Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Wow, I've combined astrology and tarot reading to do a monthly prediction for people. And I've done some, this will be the fourth one I'm doing. I've done Harry and Meghan on the other channel. I've done Trump on this channel, and now I'm doing Zelensky. And how I'm doing it is I'm taking their chart, their transiting planets, and whatever house it's in, and what the tarot cards are trying to tell me. We're going to do some predictions for the next month. All right. So, if you might want to go see the other ones because I do a lot more explanation there, and I don't want to keep repeating myself in case you are watching all of them. But remember that your chart is like a big watch. And think of the planets as the hands, the big hand, small hand, second hand. And as they click along in your chart, things change, right? 6 a.m. is different than 2 p.m. Things have changed. It's just a clock, but the hands have changed. So think of planets as hands. And so that's how we can probably do a prediction with good accuracy to where the planets are if we start at like a new moon or the first of the month or when the zodiac changes, that kind of thing. We probably have a really good outlook of what's going to happen in the next 30 days. It's no different than you kind of know what's happening between 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. It's generally the same. Maybe sometimes it trips up and you do something different, go on holidays or whatever, but generally you have a good idea what's happening between 6 a.m. and 6 a.m. every day. So generally, you can predict what's going to go on with these planets as they click along on your watch. And the zodiac goes counterclockwise, all right? So the inside is your natal chart, and that is baked in and solid when you're born, and outside is your transiting chart, and those are the planets and the cards we're going to look at. A lot of people don't realize the cards actually correlate to an astrology chart based on the decans and the houses. So that's why you have to use whole houses, because you need the decans in there as well. And some people read astrology with tarot and some people don't. And like I say, there's no such thing as the tarot police, so you do you. And I like to associate the tarot with the astrology because tarot are projections and so is astrology. All right? So without further ado, let's get started. Now we start with the first house. And one of the things I've noticed is all the planets are on one side, because this is as of March 1st, so we're doing 30 days, right? All the planets are on one side. So, for example, all of Harry's were at the bottom, so he's in a kind of a dark place. Trump's are at the top, so he's kind of like the spotlight's on him. He's in a lighter place. Here we have Zelensky's, and they are at this angle here, and because the zodiac moves counterclockwise, his are going darker. Okay, and that's just the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune runs counterclockwise as well. You have good luck, bad luck. You have night, you have day. You have winter, you have summer. That's just the way the wheel works. So for Zelensky, it's working this way. He's going from a bright, shiny place. He is now going into his dark or bad luck time. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to point out. All right, so let's start with the first house. And the first house is always about you and your body and how you project out into the world. And it's Jupiter in Gemini. His first house is Gemini. And that doesn't surprise me a bit because he tends to be, is he gay or is he not gay? Brother wars, not brother wars, right? That doesn't surprise me at all. That doesn't mean that he's like that. It's like that's the persona he puts out. Is he a gay comedian, or is he an alpha male military man? Right? He's almost like a shapeshifter when you have Gemini in the first house. You can be many different people. So anyways, with that being said, let's look at his cards. So we have Gemini, the lovers. We have Jupiter, which is Wheel of Fortune. And see, I told you, the Wheel of Fortune goes counterclockwise as well. And we have the Six of Swords. I'm going to say that I keep saying he's going to take off and he's going to go into hiding. And I think that he knows his Wheel of Fortune is starting to turn. And I wouldn't be surprised, because remember, we're doing the month of March here. I wouldn't be surprised if during this big European summit that they're having to do with Ukraine, and good on them, that's their part of the world. Why Canada's there, I have no idea. It's not our part of the world. We don't share any borders. Anyways, I digress. Oh, and spoiler alert, I'm a quarter Ukrainian and my husband's half Ukrainian. Okay, so don't at me. I think he is actually going to move. I bet by the end of March, he's talking about, I'm not getting peace. I read Trump's doing some peace, and I thought maybe Gaza because of the way it's women and children and along the water. Whereas in Ukraine, I think it's to save the young men, more so the men at the front line. And I know there's the Black Sea there, but where the front line is quite inland versus Gaza is right on the coast. So I thought it was Gaza. Um, I'm wondering if is he gunning for, does he want peace? Does he realize his Wheel of Fortune is turning and the money's going to start to dry up and his luck is going to start to dry up? And now, because he's a shapeshifter, he becomes a man of peace. He's no longer the military man, he's the man of peace. I think that's by the end of March, we're going to hear him talk about peace more, about moving on. And whether he blames Trump or not, we'll see. But I think, yeah, don't be surprised if we hear him starting to talk about calming things down. So his second house is Mars in Cancer, and your second house is your voice and your family of origin, not necessarily your mother, your father, your siblings, but your family of origin and your voice. And I think that with this Mars in Cancer in his second house, I think he's going to lose his voice. I think he's had a lot of control of the narrative up until now, and he may even lose his presidency, and people will be celebrating about that he's had his tower moment and people will be celebrating. That's why I'm wondering if he's going to move towards peace or he's going to take off out of the country and go into exile somewhere. Because here he is as the general. There he is, ending of the general, and people are celebrating that I think he might be losing control. And the people are happy that he's gone or something. I think it'll be very shocking. It'll be interesting to see where is his where are the what are they called, eclipses in his chart. I'll have to see. We'll have to keep going. So yeah, I think he's in for a big fall. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, and I think the people will be cheering. All right, I've neglected to let you know what his main cards are, his personality cards. He is a Knight of Swords, and is he ever? He attacks with words. Have you ever seen him lift a gun? Have you ever seen him go into battle himself? No, he's a shapeshifter. He is a Gemini rising, Aquarius sun. It's him in words. Now, more fire, Wands, Aries, Sagittarius, Leos, now they're the ones with the guns up front. But the swords people, they are all talk. I love my swords people. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying we're just using this in the situation that he is in. And he also is the Five of Swords. He's a bit of a bully. He has to win at all costs. And look at this, wearing green all the time. He is the kind of person with the Knight of Swords and Five of Swords, he needs the last word all the time. All the time. He's intolerable, actually, that way. Look at the anger in the clouds there. He likes to attack with words, and he'll think nothing of it. And that's just who he is. He's a bit of a bully, and he sticks his nose into things that are none of his business and makes it his business. That's just what the cards are telling me. All right. That's his personality. He's the Knight of Swords. And then we put that under the star because in the star, so the next planet that actually lights up is his Aquarius in the 9th house. And he has Pluto in his 9th house right now. And that is, so the star is Aquarius, Judgment is Pluto, and the Five of Swords is the decan that Pluto is sitting in. Now, this applies so different to everybody else, to everybody. It depends on where it is in your house, in your chart. His Pluto in his 9th house, now, your 9th house is higher education, lawyers, foreign lands. And that's why I'm thinking what he's doing right now in England is he's definitely warmongering. He's not looking for peace while he's there. He's looking for second chances in England. And here's Aquarius, and he is an Aquarius. They just might give it to him. Here's his second chances. And here he comes as, the Aquarian, and he's not interested in peace at all. At all. He wants his second chance. Now, what's here? Is there money here? No. But what is here is power. And power to control people with words and be smug about it. He wants to look very intellectual. That's one of the things that he has here with Pluto, second chances here. He knows he's mocked online for doing some of his comedy work, doing some of that dancing with high heels on and wiggling his penis everywhere, which is really gross. He wants a second chance at that. He wants people to see him as the humanitarian that he is. And you can only be a humanitarian when you put young people at the front line and make them fight for your country. He wants a second chance at looking intellectual, at looking, smart at what he's doing. And he wants the respect. And I think that's that, because remember, we're doing March here. What happens in the UK, I think, is going to be reverberated throughout the month of March for him. But that's why he wants to be the star. He's kind of narcissistic. No, look at that. The clock agrees with me. Now let's look at his next. And that's also his midhaven is in his 9th house in Aquarius. So he's actually doing what he was born to do. Look like a star, look like an intellectual, look like, I want to say like a village elder almost. Not so much like the hermit, but like the professor, right? I think as he ages, people are going to look at him a lot differently, as the sage almost, but not in a hermit way. In somebody they go to for advice. Interesting. Pluto's coming over his sun here right away. That's going to be very interesting, actually. All right, so let's go to the next house, which is his 10th house, which is his career. And this is interesting because if you notice, his career has no natal suns in it, and Pisces is the ruler of that house. So Pisces rules death. Everyone thinks the 8th house, Scorpio. Scorpio is where you die, but Pisces is your funeral director and your hospitals. And that's what's happening right now. I'll tell you, it's crazy. So we have Pisces is the moon, and we have the sun, which is his sun is in Pisces. We also have Saturn in Pisces. We have Mercury in Pisces. We have Neptune in Pisces. And he has the 9 of Cups and 10 of Cups because those planets are in the 2nd and 3rd decan. All right? But this is in his 10th house. This is Saturn, and Saturn is the planet that is normally in the 10th house. I'm telling you, there's something with these eclipses coming on that are going to be big time ending for a lot of big people. And when I did my predictions for March, the last 3 predictions were all about politicians and public people. I think we're going to see a lot of I think there's going to be a lot of death around him. Let's just put it that way. And I think there's something smug about that for him. And it's almost like, I don't know what it is. I think it's kind of sick. I think that he's not reading the room at all. And he's just really smug about things, and he actually thinks things are going his way, unfortunately. He thinks he's being very loved. He's basically a dictator. He's stopped all elections in Ukraine, and here he is with his smugness, and I think he's hiding a lot. Like, he's with the Magician here and the Hanged Man. I'm just wondering, will the veil be lifted, or will it be tied down tighter? But big endings in his career. So we're going to see that in March. All right, so let's go to his 11th house, which is his Aries house, which is here. He wants to be emperor. Sorry, he does. This is his 11th house. This is the house of, the people, of the society, the humanity. He wants to be the emperor. He wants to be the emperor. And I think that I honestly think he's already checking out. I think there's a secret plan for him and his wife to leave the country. And that goes back to the other cards there as well. I wonder if that has something to do with the eclipse, and that his fortune is starting to run out. And that's what the Neptune in there, the veil, that he's actually, working at this and doing it, and maybe he's not even there. I think that he's actively searching somewhere for him and his wife to move to. In the 11th house. What other society would he move to? Well, I guess just maybe that's what he's doing in England. Maybe he's asking for exile there. Maybe that's what he's getting set up while he's there. Maybe that's why he's talking to the king as well. He's asking the king if he could, if the king would grant him exile. I don't know what the king would have to do with that, but maybe because another leader's coming onto your soil. Interesting. All right, so his last house, his 12th house, is ruled by Taurus, and we have Uranus there. You know, the people that that have such an active 12th house, and this is fresh beginnings, I honestly think he's going to take the money and run. I honestly believe that. I think maybe if we don't see it in the month of March, he's going to start moving money around. I think because that's endings, right? And that's your family of origin. And here he is, he's leaving it. He's leaving his family of origin. He's taking his money with him. Also, I think he can't ask for any more money. I think that that money has dried up from the other leaders. I think it'll be very little, or it'll be money that he can't access. Like, I'll give you a tank, but I'm not giving you $1 million kind of thing. I know tanks are worth more than that. I'm just giving an example. Or, we'll provide you with bullets, but I'm not giving you any more money. I think that's going to change for him in March, and that might be some of the reasons why he gives it up. With the Fool here, it's fresh beginnings and endings. When one door closes, another door opens. He might find exile in a church, like how Julian Assange, found exile in an embassy. He might find exile in a church, and yet he banned the Russian Orthodox Church there. So perhaps, and he's Jewish, so I don't know. Is the same for temples that the police won't enter if you are, or is that just in the movies? If you're hunkered down in there, that you can seek refuge in a church and they'll leave you alone. He might. Interesting. But yeah, he's a fighter with words. He doesn't have to shoot a gun, or I don't think he ever has in his life, unless like it's for the cameras, but he's a word monger. All right, so what did you think of these type of readings? Did you get something out of it? Do you want me to see other leaders? I can do Starmer, I can do JD Vance, anybody really that you want to see what their next 30 days are going to be. If you enjoyed it, let me know. They're fun to do, but they do take a lot of time, and I don't mind doing them as long as you enjoy them. So if you didn't see Trump's, go over there and have a look. And if you didn't see Harry and Meghan's, go over there and have a look too. All right, well, looks like it's going to be an interesting March. I can't wait till these eclipses show up, because I think there's going to be big changes. And let's see what the clock ticks along and tells us what's happening. Thank you very much for watching. Please take good care of yourself. We'll see you in the next one.